Hello everyone, welcome you all in this session. Myself, Assistant Professor Vipul Gupta from LJ School of Law. Today I am going to take the subject of law of contract, and today's topic of discussion is contingent contract. So now let us understand what is contingent. Basically contingent means that thing depends on the future events or future happenings or non-happenings. That is contingent. Now the same way contingent contract means when you're agreeing on some point at present time, but that enforceability of law depends on the future happening or non-happening of the event. That is contingent contract, that you are making agreement on today's, but their effect may depend on your future events, that may event occur or non-occurrence of that event, and that particular event make your law enforceable. That is contingent contract. In simple words, if I want to say, if I am agreeing that if India wins the match, I will pay you 1000 rupees. So if India wins the match, I will pay you 1000 rupees. If India lose the match, I will not pay you 1000 rupees. So here the enforceability of law depends on the future happening of the event. That is contingent contract. If I want to say another example is that if A and B is agreeing that if A's house burnt, he will pay 20,000 rupees to B. So if A's house burnt, then he will pay 20,000 rupees. Here we can say some of the examples of contingent contract in the nature of law of insurance, law of guarantee, and law of indemnity, where their contract depends on the future happening or non-happening. So now we will see the essential elements of contingent contract. The first essential element says that there should be a contract to do or not to do something if some event does or does not happen. That means that contract depends on the future happenings of the event. Second is that contract must be collateral to that event. That means the person should agree that if certain things happen in future, I will pay you this something. So here there must be collateral, there must be surety from one person that if that event is happen or non-happening of that event, I will pay you some amount of money or whatever maybe it is consideration. So that makes a contingent contract. Now we see section 3(2) of the Contract Act, which says that if you are agreeing on some thing and that particular contract does not happen because that the contract is impossible, then you cannot enforce this contract under the contingent contract. Now for example, if you are agreeing on some event, but that event or that particular part is just impossible, then this contract you cannot enforce. We'll see here the examples. First, if A makes a contract with B to buy B's horse if A survives C. So here A cannot purchase B's horse until and unless C dies. So this contract seems to be impossible. So this contract cannot be enforceable under the contingent contract. Now in the contrary to section 32, that is section 33, which says that contingent contract to do or not to do anything if an uncertain future event does not happen can be enforced when the happening of that event becomes impossible and not before. So here if you have made some concerting contract, but that contract become impossible even though you can enforce it. For example, A agrees to pay some of the money to B if that particular ship does not return and that ship sinks. So here A can enforce the contract because that ship does not return. So even if that contract become impossible, he can enforce the contract because that contract does not happen. So section 33 puts two essential elements over here. First is contingent contract to do anything if an uncertain event does not happen and can be enforced even if it becomes impossible and not before. The same way, if that event is contract is not to do anything and that becomes impossible, that you can even enforce and not before. So here in section 33, if you are making any agreement and if it becomes impossible, even though you can enforce it before the happening of that event. Now we will see section 34 of the Contract Act. It says that when event on which contract is contingent to be deemed impossible if it is future conduct of a living person. So your contract, it depends on the person's conduct. Then this is also contingent contract. For example, A agrees to pay B some of the money if B marries C. Now C marries D. Now it is impossible for D to marry C. Sorry, impossible for B to marry C. Now this contract is impossible in the nature. But yes, in future contingencies, it may lie that if D dies and afterwards C marries to B. So that happens if the future person's conduct will depend on its future. So if the person's conduct depends on its future happenings. So that is under section 34. Now we see section 35. Section 35 talks about when contracts become void, which are contingent on happening of specified time within fixed time. So when the parties have fixed the time that during that time, if that particular thing happened, then I'll pay you some money. For example, if I make an agreement with you that within a year that ship will not return, then if it does not happen, if it returns within a year, then I have to perform the contract. And if that ship sinks, then this contract cannot be enforceable. So we'll see a similar kind of example over here. So A promises to pay B a sum of money if certain ship returns within a year. The contract will be enforced if the ship regards within a year, and it became void if that ship burns. So if that particular contract does not take place because of some impossibility, this contract will become void. But if that ship returns within a year, you have to pay the money. Now we'll see the last section of the contingent contract. It is section 36, which says there's agreement contingent on impossible event void. So if you are making any contract which is impossible in nature, that contract is void. For example, A agrees to pay rupees 1000 to B if he marries his daughter C, but C dies on that agreement day. So this becomes impossible. So this contract term to be void. So this is section 36 of the Act. So today we have discussed about contingent contract. It comprises of section 31 to 36, which basically says that your contract depends on the future happening or non-happening. It is contingent contract. So its enforceability lies on the future impact. So we have seen different sections over here where the contract becomes impossible, it cannot be enforced, it becomes void, it cannot be enforced if it depends on the future conduct of a living person, it depends on the future contingencies, then it becomes impossible even though it can be enforced. So here these are the some of the provisions of the contingent contract. So basically contingent contract in one line says to be have a depending on the future implications that something happen may not happen, that defines the enforceability of contingent contract. Thank you.